Overflows.
Zen attitude towards death. Life is organic. Ordinarily, out of fear, we have created a division. Death is transition. Death includes the 13-day period for the process of death to complete. This emphasizes the continuity of consciousness and the potential for rebirth, especially for those who approach death with awareness. Death is a transition rather than an end, but the mind have learned to live in duality and trying to seek the bliss out of this dualistic life. One can live a life of bliss which is beyond duality, live with deep understanding. Death emphasizes awareness and the continuity of consciousness. Individuals who die each moment with awareness are not truly dying, rather than shedding an old body like discarding clothes. Laughter is the Zen attitude towards death and towards life too, because life and death are not separate. Whatsoever is your attitude towards life will be your attitude towards death as well, because death comes as the ultimate flowering of life. Life exists for death. Life exists through death. Without death, there will be no life at all. Death is not the end, but the culmination, like a crescendo. Death is not the enemy, it is the friend. It makes life possible. So the Zen attitude towards death is exactly the same as is Zen attitude towards life, that of laughter, joy, celebration. And if you can laugh at death, in death, you are free from all. Then you are freedom instead. If you cannot laugh at death or rejoice or celebrate, you will not be able to laugh in life either, because death is always coming. Each act in life, each move in life brings death closer. Each moment that you live, you get closer to death. If you cannot laugh with death, how can you laugh with life and in life? But there is a difference between the Zen Buddhist and other religions. Other religions are not that deep. They also say that there is no need to fear death because soul is immortal. But in the very idea of the immortality of soul, your mind is seeking eternity and nothing else. In the very idea of immortality, you are denying death. You are saying that there is no death. You are saying, so why to be afraid? There is no death. I am going to live forever. If not as this body, still I am going to live as this soul. My essential being will continue. So why fear death? Death will not be destroying me. I will remain. I will persist. I will continue. The other religions compromise with your desire to remain forever. They give you a consolation. They say, do not be worried. You will be in some other body, in some other form, but you will continue. This seems to be a clinging. But the Zen approach towards death is utterly different. It is immensely profound. Other religions say death is not to be worried about, not to be feared, because soul is eternal. Zen says there cannot be any death because you are not. Who is going to die? There is nobody to die. See the difference. There is nobody to die. The self exists not. So death cannot take anything away from you. Life cannot give you anything, and death cannot take away anything. There is no purpose in life and no purpose in death either. There is nobody to die. Other religions say that you will not die, so you need not be worried about death. Zen says you exist not. For whom are you worrying? There is nobody in life, and there will be nobody in death either. You are pure emptiness. Nothing has ever happened there. Death is an organic, integral part of life, and it is very friendly to life. Without life, without it, life cannot exist. Life exists because of death. Death gives you the background. Death is, in fact, the process of renewal. And death also happens each moment as life happens, because the renewal is needed each moment. The moment you breathe in and the moment you breathe out, both happen simultaneously. Breathe in, life happens. Breathe out, death happens. This is why when a child is born, the first thing the child does is breathe in, and with this life starts. And when an old man is dying, the last thing he does, breathe out. And with that, life departs. The breathing in, you are breathing in life. Breathing out, you are breathing life out. This is happening each moment. Each moment. Breathing out is death, breathing in is life, and both are two wheels of a cart. You live by breathing in as much as you live by breathing out. When you breathe out, do you die? Then it makes the way for breath to come in. And when breath comes in, this makes way for the breath out. And the life is an expansion between these two moments of breathing in and breathing out. You cannot breathe in if you stop breathing out. If you stop breathing in, you cannot breathe in if you stop breathing out. You cannot live if you stop dying. The man who has understood what life is allows death to happen each moment. He welcomes it. He dies each moment, and each moment he is resurrected. A flower dies, becomes seed, seed blossoms again, and the process continues. His cross and his resurrections are continuously happening as a process. He dies to the past each moment and is born again and again into a different future. If you look into life, you will be able to know what death is. If you understand what death is, only then you are able to understand what life is, not otherwise. They are organic. Ordinarily, out of fear, we have created a division. We think that life is good and death is bad. That's why we lament when someone dies. We think that life has to be desired and death has to be avoided. We think somehow we have to protect ourselves against death. We have to protect ourselves against death. This absurd idea creates endless miseries in our lives. We do not die to the past. The past lingers and does not allow the new blood, new aspiration to blossom into you. This absurd idea creates endless miseries in our lives because a person who protects himself against death becomes incapable of living. He is the person who is afraid of exhaling, then he cannot inhale. And this is the problem with the people with the ailment that we know as asthma. You are breathing in but not breathing out. Then he is stuck. Then he simply drags in life. His life is no longer a flow. His life is no more like a river. Instead, it has become a pool. If you really want to live, you have to be ready to die. Who is afraid of death in you? Have you introspected? Is life afraid of death? It is not possible. How can life be afraid of its own integral process? Something else is afraid in you. And what is that which is afraid in you? The ego is afraid in you of death. Life and death are not opposites. Ego and death are opposites. Life and death are not opposites. Ego and life are opposites as well. Ego is both against life and death. Ego is against both life and death. Ego is afraid to live and ego is afraid to die. It is afraid to live because each effort, each step towards life brings death closer. Introspect as we traverse along the life of bliss beyond duality. Enough for now.